Show from Los Angeles, California. We'd like to bring out our first guest. He's one of the few rock stars whose persona has transcended not only music, but all of pop culture. Please welcome for the first time on That Metal Show, Marilyn Manson.
You don't know where Hannah's been.
I know.
But I do. And it's not good.
I've heard. I got no problem with it.
We were
talking about stuff.
We were having dinner at a restaurant we won't say last night because it'll give away location of Mr. Manson's home. But we were downstairs having some dinner, and so was Mr. Manson upstairs having dinner as well, and we had no idea.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know, it's very difficult sometimes when you're in a room with more than one girl and you don't know which one to insult more, to get them to want to try to you up, and then you don't let them. That's the art of rock and roll.
How do you work that,
We never have that problem.
I do. It's like erectile dysfunction syndrome, but opposite. It's like a reverse Benjamin Button on my
How do you get the girls not to get jealous with the other one and all that stuff? Because
Now, well, given your reputation, what is the craziest sexual request you've ever gotten?
I don't know. I'm very, very normal. I don't really, I don't try to refrain from any sort of deviance. You know, I'm living a clean life. I've been clean and sober for the last 5 minutes.
Between drinks of that?
Yeah. I was like, wait for it, yeah.
You know, Manson, I've been a fan of since the beginning.
Why'd you guys clap at that? What are you kind of...
And he offered me some of this backstage, and as much as I love you, man, I don't know. I don't know what's in that, and I don't know what's been on that. So
those are good statements.
Thank you. Thank you.
You don't know what's been on that.
but Eddie, if you're a real Manson fan, you wouldn't care where he's been.
You think?
You take it like a man.
Ooh, like prison cell.
You guys want to see Eddie have some absinthe?
Yeah! It's got enough alcohol to wash away whatever I did.
For real?
Previously. Yeah. For real. I'm a for realist. Believe it.
How long have I been trying to get this guy to be on the show? I got to have a drink with him, right?
All right.
Drink it.
It smells like licorice.
Yeah, I know. It's black licorice I don't like, and that's not because I'm racist. I just don't like black licorice. Because I don't like the way it smells, but I had to soak it up and taste it. It's like when you're like, oh, I don't like the way that balls smell, and I want to have to deal with them in prison. And
for the sake of the show, what did I just drink?
Junk in the trunk.
Tell me what I drank.
Skunk in the trunk.
What did I drink? Seriously.
Absinthe.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I disguised it as carrot juice.
It's got like a burn, man. It's like heavy-duty NyQuil.
It is.
And you have your own brand of absinthe.
I do have Manson. It's a pretty predictable title.
Listen, I want to talk to you about so many things. When you first came out, first album, Portrait, comes out, we were at the height of a scene where people were, it was so anti-rock star. Just everybody looking at their shoes, strumming their guitar, not putting on a show. This guy comes out and is a rock star and puts on a show and is proud of it. And I love that you altered that whole scene and shook things up, man.
Thank you.
So where did that come from? Was always the blueprint for Manson when you started it?
It went from me liking Iron Maiden to me liking Judas Priest. I think the first crossover band for me was Jane's Addiction and The Cure, because I was working in Florida at Specs record store.
Yeah.
And I got a very lucrative job as the night manager. and I stole Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me record by The Cure and Jane's Addiction, Triple X record. But I stole it in a manner of the girls that worked there. Because I had the keys to the castle. And I made them smuggle it out in their underwear. And that was my beginning of rock and roll, that I was making girls put my music in their underwear, and that's still what I do.
Now, was it the full album version, or was it the CD?
It was back before CDs were invented. This was in the cassette era.
Oh, all right.
And I was smacking that cassette. So, No, and honestly, that was that. And then I started, and now this is an embarrassing thing, I'll admit to you, but I started open mic poetry night at a place called Squeeze in Fort Lauderdale, which has since burned to the ground.
So the idea...
But I started as an open mic poet, and you get away with saying things differently because obviously Antichrist Superstar invited an apocalypse of hatred against me. That was the whole point.
Was it a concept album to you?
Absolutely, and there was 3 of them.
Thank you.
There's 3 of them.
Three of them.
There's always a concept behind anything I do. Like the record that I've just finished called Born Villain, that's coming out next year. I think it's even a stronger concept record. So,
But you do
so I
have
just
such
started
I mean, obviously the visual aspect of what you do is tremendous, and we all, yeah, take your jacket off, relax. We're gonna hang for a while.
Don't tell me what to do, but I will.
Which of your videos stand out to you the most? Like, for me, Dope Show is my favorite. That's the one that sticks in my head.
I loved Coma White.
Thanks. That was a tough one, Coma White, because it was right after Columbine happened, because I really got butt on the fact that, you know, I did, Rock is Dead was in The Matrix, and there was footage of them, you know, Keanu Reeves shooting stuff in a trench coat.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, Marilyn Manson, et cetera. And I was like,
well, how did that affect you, Columbine, artistically? Because you did take a lot of heat for that.
I took in fact, I actually sued all of the media so that they couldn't say my name associated with it.
Well, he said, you know, and then when it happened, you were in a hotel room and you called your manager up and you go, I bet you I'm going to get blamed for this right when it was going down. And then
I was in Chicago.
Hit the fan like a day later. And then they found out they didn't even like your music, those kids.
No.
They weren't even Manson fans.
No, they thought I was a sellout.
Wow. Well, it's like the West Memphis 3, man. Those guys got railroaded too because they liked heavy metal.
Which you actually got behind. And...
I'm really good friends with Damien Echols, and I talked to him recently, and so it was just kind of heartbreaking. Made me cry a little bit, actually. That he was put in jail before cell phones even existed.
Right.
And like he lost his entire childhood, and he's a really nice guy, but it's like to try and relate to that, it's like really traumatizing. And I knew the guys that did the documentary, and I always wanted to be involved, but I just thought that my involvement would actually make it worse.
Right.
We want to get into some other stuff with you and talk about what you're coming now, which you have a video to talk about and an upcoming album. And we'll get into all that because we've got more coming up with Marilyn Manson. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more of That Metal Show. Chris Broderick. To That Metal Show, your home of all things hard rock and heavy metal. Marilyn Manson is here with us, of course.
Yeah.
Golf clap. And as I mentioned earlier, I mean, one of the many things I loved about Manson when he came out on the scene was the fact that he was a rock star. He did put on a show. He did dress up. He had a look. He had an image. He had more than just great music.
The word had is aggressively...
Well, you still have. Really? I'm talking when you first came out, so I'm saying had.
Of the closet.
Yes.
Continue.
Out of the closet.
Well, Eddie, me and you saw his first show on the East Coast when we first got into him at the Birch Hill.
Yeah, I was at
Birch Hill.
I was there. Yeah.
I was hammered there.
But
oh yeah, you were cutting yourself on stage. It was awesome.
That's what I do.
But you have had. We want to look at some of the looks from the past of Marilyn Manson. Oh, you can see we're very fashionable. So let's see your fashion.
Yeah, you guys.
Give us a little commentary there, Manson.
Well, one thing I remember most about that MTV Awards was that I threw a water bottle and I hit Tony Bennett in the head.
In the head?
Yeah, I didn't mean to. I mean, I have great aim, but I could have been a sports hero.
And how would you describe the look there?
I would describe it as like chic. It was just kind of. That was a strong look. I love that they never showed that on MTV. They were really mad, and it wasn't just because of my beautiful boobs. And here's a good story behind this one. So right before I was about to go on stage, I had to make wet. So I went into the bathroom, and I sat down on the toilet, but I had just got that, obviously I have a real man-sized not that regular one. And I got stuck to the toilet seat, and so my ass got ripped off to get off the toilet seat to go onto there, and then I did that.
Awesome. It's awesome.
The end.
That's almost a rarely seen thing, almost a smiling man.
I would call it a smirk.
Is it smirk?
It's like a Smurf and a Merkin mixed together. Yeah, no, that's a strong look.
Yeah.
Worked for Hitler. Except the lipstick. They didn't like that. It's kind of the same look now, except I didn't really shave on the sides. Kind of like an unkempt girl's vagina.
Wait, I think there's one more, isn't there?
Picture in there?
There's one more.
There is one more.
All right, let's see that one.
Is it one of the?
This is from 2010.
Look at Tony Sewell, my manager, in the background lurking.
Well, he's as annoyed as you are that this creep Jim is trying to take a picture with you.
No, I'm not annoyed. I do look annoyed. That's true.
Yeah. This was at the Golden Gods, yeah, and you were walking, and I said, can I get a picture with you? And you didn't say anything, and I just said, let's just snap it, and that was the picture.
Hey, do you keep all these costumes and stuff?
I don't like, do you call your clothes costumes?
I call them freebies.
This is Halloween.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
My is Halloween. I have to explain it.
It's orange?
It's scary. Smashes pumpkins. Little kids go to get treats from it.
Oh!
I'm not saying I give them out to it, but, you know, that's rock and roll. I'm a villain. Oh, look how I just tied that in. Look at that. Marketing genius.
See, because he's wants to talk about his new album coming out.
So Eddie, take a cue from the guest.
So tell me about your next record.
Born Villain?
Yes, Born Villain. It's called Born Villain. Well, I did a, what we call a trailer. The concept was I met Shia LaBeouf. That's what it means in French. It's not my fault. Anyways, when I was trying to leave the Chateau Marmont, which is French also, but that's not for beef, but I was leaving, I was trying to urinate, and then he came up to me and he said, dude, I want you to meet my girlfriend, but I don't because she will want to you and leave me. And I said, that is probably true. So then we became friends. I didn't have sex with his girlfriend.
But how do you get a guy like him who's got sort of this real wholesome image in Hollywood in Transformers, and he directs a video or a trailer with you where you're putting an eyeball in between a girl's legs?
Well,
how does he make that leap?
He did this short film, and he showed me. It was sort of based off of Man Bites Dog, the French film. And I saw it, and I said, let's do something together. I invited him over, and I showed him a lot of my favorite films. And, you know, a book that I got as my first birthday gift when I met my ex-wife, Dee Devontees. She gave me a book called The Story of the Eye. Look it up, Girls, Boyfriends Beware, because it's about women putting eyeballs up their vaginas. So I had this concept, and I said, boom, go with it. And so, yeah, we roll clip. No, we can't do that.
Yeah, I wish we could, because the song the trailer is put to, that we were just talking about in the break, is phenomenal. So what can the fans expect from the full album? Well,
the record is, the new record and that video, because I'm reciting Macbeth in the video.
Right.
Not the Kiss song, Macbeth, I hear you calling. I'm just reciting Macbeth because the key thing that I was really drawn to by Macbeth was, this is a tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury that signifies nothing. And this is just talking about, like, it says a poor player who struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. So the video, besides being, you know, I'm literally tongue-in-cheek because there's a skewering of a girl's cheek, which was absolutely 100% real. I don't like to fake things, orgasms included. But actually, I did that once, but
how did you do that?
I was winded.
You were winded?
You were winded?
I spit in my hand and then just... That's see, it's hard for me to be serious and not at the same time because I'm in a room full of men.
We got to move on in a second. But we got to move on in a second. But I want to ask you something that I always wanted to ask you, because you are obviously a visual guy, and film, and also painting now, and obviously everything you've done and continue to do theatrically. But obviously, like I said, I've always loved the music. Growing up a big Kiss fan, that's what always annoyed me about Kiss. People always talked about everything but the records. I loved the records. Same deal with you and your music.
My first album I bought was Kiss Live 2.
There you go. Nice. So for you, what do you enjoy more in the creative process, the visual stuff or actually making the music that supports it?
Oh, it's straight. I can't separate the way I think. That's the thing.
What comes first, though, the music or the visual that goes with the music?
It's different all the time. For example, there's a new song on our new record that'll might potentially be a single, and I wanted to, you know, do like a casting call and blowing heads off with a shotgun in slow motion, because it would be shot in slow motion. So I
probably get people to come to the casting call here in LA.
I just dropped a bomb on you. That's a song on the new record, but it's hyphenated, slow motion. But see, I thought of the idea before the song, and that's something that I want to shoot now as a video. But a lot of times I will think of the visual before or during the song.
Right.
And but this record, I think, represents the personality of what Marilyn Manson is, if I can be third person about myself. I think mostly I wanted to take it back to the excitement of when you see a band in a club. The excitement isn't because it's sweaty and it's in a club and it's all small. It's because the energy of it. And that's why I saw a documentary about White Stripes, and I was really impressed by the comment Jack White made about limitations. And it's pretty much what I did when I moved into a new place, and I gave myself, you know, an empty palette. And so if you're just giving a situation, you have to improvise, you have to make do with what you have. That's what is exciting about rock and roll. It's not, you know, when it's like in an arena and everyone's prancing around like a bunch of idiots. I don't like that. It's stupid. Plus, it's exhausting, so later you can't have sex to girls. But I mean, honestly, the fact that you appreciate what I do and the fact that there's fans. But I don't take that for granted.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't, because I never did in the beginning. I used to print my own flyers and put them on cars myself, and I never even had songs. And I realized, why wasn't I selling the flyers? But that's a metaphor for life. You know, it's just like, it's more about just being me again, like, and I'm just happy to stop not being unhappy.
Nice.
No, we're really psyched. We're excited to get the new record coming out. You guys pumped or what? Come on. It's going to be awesome like it always is.